Hi, this is Ken Ruff again, doing another video on Mukaibisha. This time, instead of Anaguma, Block is going to respond by castling his king into the left-hand Mino castle. And we're going to see some key differences of what happens when Black, instead of going for Anaguma, goes for left-hand Mino castle. Let's go ahead and speed through these opening moves. They're exactly the same as in the Anaguma, and the deviation comes after this move. After White's moved his silver up, Black is going to pretty much mirror that and move his silver up to 7H, making his Mino castle. And White's going to go ahead and pretty much make exactly the same moves as he did, whether Black is going to castle into Mino or Anaguma. White's still just going to go for the same piece formation. Again, he has the option of moving his gold to 5B, but I'll cover that strategy, I guess, in a later video. So again, this is the same position where White's going to go ahead and offer a rook trade. And, even though now Black's camp is much stronger, much harder against the rook drops compared to before. In the Anaguma case, this gold on 6i was a floating piece. Now it's covered by this silver on 7h. Still, it's not a good position to try and trade rooks for Black because, again, if you look at the differences in these squares, which is pretty much where the rook drops are going to occur, Black only has this one square. Where, once these rooks are traded, well, I guess White can even drop it here, 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 and here. It just has a lot more options to drop his rook compared to Black, who's only going to have one option. So again, this is not a favorable position for a rook drop for Black. So he's going to go ahead and decline the rook trade again by dropping the pawn to 2e. And again, White will just go back. And this position, White is threatening 4 different attacks. The silver coming over, the pawn push opening the bishop's diagonal, pawn push to 3e, and also an edge pawn push. I'm not going to cover the edge pawn push because apparently this attack usually doesn't work anyway, and Black has a good countermeasure by pushing his edge pawn and developing his knight. So I'm not going to cover that. Just don't push the edge pawn, I guess. So let's actually look at these 3 threats. And again, these are the same 3 threats as we covered in the first video. And, again, the same thing. The pawn push to 3e is going to be the biggest threat. So Black is going to go ahead and defend against that by pushing his own third file pawn. So now that that option is eliminated, White has, the option of the edge pawn, which I'm not going to cover. And then these 2 options of opening the bishop's diagonal and pushing his 4th file pawn, or to go ahead and develop his silver over to 5d. And I'm going to cover the silver move first. And actually, in my first video, I said that this was mostly going ahead trying to attack the bishop's head. And that is one threat. But actually, another and probably bigger threat is to go ahead and take out this pawn on 3f. And really put pressure on Black's rook. So basically, Black's going to want to defend this pawn on 3f somehow. And, he can't move this way to protect the pawn because White will be able to break the second file. So his best move that he's going to be aiming at is rook floating up to 2f. Protecting the pawn that way and still protecting this pawn. However, if he moves the rook right away, White has a good move of bishop to 1e, which is now going to force him to bring his rook back. And Black lost 2 moves and he didn't defend this square. So this is not, basically just don't move your rook immediately. First, Black needs to preemptively defend this 1e square by pushing his own edge pawn. And now, if White were to go silver to 4e, then Black can just go ahead and move his rook up to 2f, and it's fine. This silver is not a threat anymore because all these squares are defended. So once Black pushes the edge pawn, White is instead going to use his silver and go after the bishop's head. I guess at this point he could also open the bishop's diagonal, and that's going to be another option. But let's see what happens if bishop goes, or if the silver goes for the bishop's head. Then at this position, black is still going to be fine. He can go ahead and just push his 7th file pawn, saving the pawn. And if the silver keeps going and tries to attack the bishop on 7g, the bishop can just go up to 5e. And if white tries to push this pawn, I mean, this is a pretty natural move. Force this bishop to some other square and then try and open this bishop diagonal. But, you know, he'll just go back here to 7g, and even if white goes ahead and makes a check, opening the bishop's diagonal, black can just block it with a pawn. And then now he's also threatening to push this pawn, and then also push this pawn, right? That way, you know, the white can't take the pawn on 7d because of the bishop here. And so once white then goes ahead and promotes this pawn, he's going to be able to drop a pawn to here, and he's going to be able to take the silver. So this isn't a good option for white. So basically, at this position, white's just going to go ahead and push his pawn. And it's going to be, you know, basically once he pushes this pawn, then black's going to go ahead and offer that rook trade again because this file is open. The only, you know, there's a slight problem here. Well, I guess we'll cover this, I guess, in our line for when white just goes ahead and pushes the 4th file pawn first, because it's pretty much the same thing. So instead of moving his silver over, let's say white opens the bishop's diagonal now, then black is going to have to take the same line, going in and offering this rook trade now. However, it's still not that great of a position for black. I mean, obviously white's going to go ahead, accept the rook trade, and just like before, black will go ahead and promote his bishop. However, white still has a nice rook drop here. You know, basically he just wants to drop it to 2g to make sure that he's going to be able to take this knight. So I don't know, maybe black will try and, you know, drop his rook too. You know, maybe save it, promote, take it, promote, something like that. But problem here for black now is that if this knight develops this way, or, you know, maybe we don't even save the knight, white's always going to have this good move, bishop back to 3c, checking, and it's going to go ahead, he's going to have to take it. He's going to be able to remove the horse from the board, and then he's going to be able to save his knight anyway. So it's still a close position, and, you know, this rook drop is less of a threat because of the fact that his piece structure is harder, but now there's still another threat, a bishop back to 3c, and then they'll be able to just trade, and then white will be able to trade his bishop for the horse. So even though black's castle is harder, and, you know, he got to take this lance, it's still going to be an equal position, because white is going to be able to trade his bishop for the horse, knock the horse out of the board, save his knight by taking the horse, and then going ahead and taking the knight on 2i. So I guess maybe we'll go ahead and move it forward. Now he can't promote here either. So really I'm not sure what black would do now. Maybe lance drop. Save it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm really not sure what would happen from here. But I don't know, let's just go ahead, promote instead, so that I can show you what white is threatening after he takes this knight, and he's threatening this. Threatening a nice knight drop on 6D. Also, you know, boom. And also, maybe even before this, he can just take here. I don't know. Maybe a pawn drop on 2B to block. Yeah, I'm not really sure what black would do from here either, but something like this maybe. Trying to aim for this lance drop. Then black can go ahead and drop his knight now. And even if he drops the lance, he can move his bishop back. I don't know, maybe something like this. The knight's doing a pretty good job. Bishop's doing a good job. But still, you know, black has the 2 promoted pieces. This, you know, these gold and silvers, you know, getting attacked. They're pretty much, you know, going to be taken soon. Maybe, you know, with a pawn push to block the bishop diagonal first. But I guess both sides have decent attacks. It's still thought to be a more equal position than the Anaguma case, where black's camp was just, you know, all over the place and just not hard at all. So yeah, hopefully I'll still be able to make more Mukaibisha videos, specifically with gold to 5B. There's actually also another variation later in the section that I didn't see at first on the Anaguma case, where instead of, you know, completing this Mino castle first, he instead brings his gold over to 5B and starts this attack even sooner, before black even gets to close the hatch of his Anaguma. And, you know, the Anaguma is going to lose in that case too. But again, you know, there's this other option of the gold 5B. Maybe I'll cover that in another video. Also, you know, I have more than one Shogi strategy book, and the other book by Watanabe that I have also covers some Anaguma strategy and also maybe Fuji system. So I think I'm going to be making a thread on the 81 Square Universe forums, and if you actually somehow found this video from some other means than 81 Square Universe, I suggest you check out those forums. It's at 81squareuniverse.com. It's great English forums. There's also a playing website that's just launching, 81 Dojo. So I suggest you guys check that out if you found this video somehow not from 81 Square Universe. And yeah, I'll be coming out with more videos, and I want to make a thread to take requests for different strategies. Maybe I can study up. I'm enjoying making these videos and also studying, reading the Japanese. You know, it's something that I need to practice. So the more requests, the better. And also, I would like some feedback on my videos. Maybe I talk too fast, or maybe I mumble too much, or whatever it is. I'm fine with some constructive criticism. So please leave as many comments as you want. Or maybe just make a post on the 81 Square Universe forums, and I'll be checking those out. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be putting out another Mukaibisha video soon, and I guess that would be white's gold to 5B strategy instead of moving to 3B. Okay, thank you.